Good morning, students. Today we are going to start with the last topic of your module 5, that is quality management. So, before going to quality management, we have some of the topics which we have to cover it up inside your quality management. So, in today's class, I will try to finish your software quality and software standards. And before that, also, I just want to let you know what do you mean by quality management. Okay, so quality management, it is nothing like it is a technique where you have to use some new software techniques. Okay, and if we will use some new software techniques, then definitely it will improve your software quality. So that is the reason why we are using the software quality management. We have to manage the quality and we have to provide the quality in such a way that all the software companies, all the organizations, if they have any low level of quality, then they can apply all the variety of frameworks and they can go for the good quality, so that it will improve all the significance of your software quality and also towards your organization labels. Fine. So here we have some of the concerns, like how to improve your quality management. There are three principal concerns. So what all are the three principal concerns? The first one will be on your organization label. So here what is happen is, like, suppose if you want to establish your framework, okay, and for that a particular organization, and if you want to implement some of the software standards, then what will happen? Then it has to be responsible to decide which kind of software development process you will use and how the quality assurance will be there for particular softwares you are being used. So that is in the perspective of your organizations, like how you are going to delegate with your software quality. And the next principle is like your project label. How the quality management is involved inside your project label is, like, suppose if you are very concerned about the specific quality process, okay, if you are very concerned towards your specific quality process, or if you want to check that how this has been planned properly and how it has to be followed up properly, then you have to go to the project level. Because once you have gone to each of the level, then what will happen is, you can you can find out the proper things and all, and you can go ahead with that processes and all. Okay, so that is a major things of your project level. So one more is also there inside your project level, which has to be concerned towards your quality plan. So one is concerning towards the quality process, how it has to be processed, and another one is concerning about the quality plan. So how you can set the goal for your quality, and how you are going to define how what the processes and how the standards are to be utilized. So that is also one major concern for your quality management. Then the next one, we have some quality teams. Okay, if I'll discuss about the quality team that comes under your quality management activities. So what happens in that quality team is, they are very independent from the development team. Okay, and they have to analyze all the software system without any compromise. They cannot do any compromise in the terms of your quality team. So the resource person, those who are working for a particular team, they should be very qualitized, and they should know all the latest technology, how they are going to behave, and all these things will allow to report the software quality if they have been influenced by any kind of your software development issues. So here what happens is, these things are all, these quality management activities has to be working on your quality team. That is the major thing of your quality measurement management activities. So now here you can see one of the diagram where we have the relationship in between your quality management and also in between your software development. So here you can see I have some of the process, okay, software development process D1, D2, D3, D4, D5, and also I have some quality management process. So here what happens is, so here whenever the quality management process starts, it has to start with some of the like you can say principal concerns. So that can be your standards and procedures, that can be your quality plan, that can be your quality review, that can be quality review reports and all. So here what happens is you have to concern about all these things, then only you can go for your quality team. Fine. So now here you are going through this by you. There will be a very direct proportional in between your quality management and in between your software development. So in this way, they are going to be connected. So now here let's see what do you mean by the quality planning. So how you are going to do the quality planning. So what do you mean by quality planning? So this is a process. You remember whenever you are writing any theoretical part on the management side, you have to write always it is a process or it is a technique. Okay, so these two keywords you should utilize. So now this is like the quality planning is like a process where the quality plan for any specific project has to be prepared earlier. Fine. And also it will include some of the varieties of your software qualities or product qualities, and also you should have the description about that product quality as well as your software quality. So if we will have the description about all these things, then definitely if we will have the quality assessment process, then it will give you the high quality softwares. Now what do you mean by quality assessment process? You are giving your internal assessment, right? So how much you have studied, that we can see in your internal assessment process. Similarly, how much quality planning we have done based on your product or software, that we can find out clearly if we will go for the quality assessment process. So that is known as your quality plan. And also you have to remember that everything is depend on your organization, because the organization has to select all the variety of software products. So if they are selecting the like all the software products, so there will be a structure of quality plan. Okay, so it has to follow or it has to go according to that structure of quality plan. So now as I told you the structure of quality plan, here we have some structures. What is the first one? That is product introduction. What do you mean by product introduction? What to do? So in this section, what will happen is the product's description will be given, and the end users, those who are going to utilize this softwares or to this product, they have to they have to go through that introduction part of the or description part of the products, and they have to understand what is actually the description is, and they have to work accordingly. So that is the job of your end users. The next one is your product plans. Here what will happen is for the product schedule or any deadlines, it has to be specified in this section. Which section? That will be in the your that will be in your product plan section. And then all the responsibilities whatever has been given to any of the product, they have to be accordingly planned, and it has to be mentioned under this section. So all the end users will come to know about the product plans. So the next one is your process descriptions. So here in this process description, the development and the service process, both the things. Process in the sense, one side it will come as your development, another side it will come as your service. So both the processes has to require, they require some of the product development things or descriptions, and also they need some of the product introductions. Once it will be given, then only they can describe towards your end users. That is the meaning of your process descriptions. What is the next one? The next one is your quality goals. Now, the next one is your quality goals. So, what happens in your quality goals? Here, we should have some plan or goal for any specific product. Okay, whatever has been specified, and along with this also, you should have the justification for all the attributes, whatever has been given for any of the critical product. Okay, so then only it can be given to the end user that how you are going to set your quality goals. So that is also a kind of your quality plan structure. Now the next one is your risk and risk management. So here you have to identify the risk first. Okay, how you are going to identify, because you will have the quality of the product. So from by seeing the quality of the product, you have to identify that how much it can affect towards my software, and how much it can be affected if I have this kind of product description. Then from there only you have to start with your risk management. How you are going to do the risk management? You have to correct with all the errors or all the like effectiveness whatever is happening towards the product and all, and you have to manage all this kind of risk. So that also comes under your quality plan structure. Now the next one is your next point is like it has to be very short and it should not be very long so that no one will read them. Quality plan has to be very dedicatedly and it has to be scrutinized in such a way that all can understand it and all can work into that. So that is the meaning of your quality plans. Now the next topic is like your scope of quality management. How you should have the scope of quality management. Here actually if you have some large complex project, okay, so what you're going to do, you have to first, you better, it is a better way that first you have to set it as a smaller module things and all. Okay, so if you will make it as a smaller modules, then for the smaller system and all it will require very less documentations, and you can focus on your establishing the quality scope, quality things, quality goals, quality setup things and all, so it will be easy for you. But if it will be very large, then it will be very difficult to record all the progress whatever is happening towards this quality, towards this large project. But if you will have the smaller system, then it will be very easy to start and very easy to do and all. So these techniques will go for the agile development always, because in agile development full description is not in your syllabus. But this kind of quality management, the main scope we use to forward towards our agile development, which will check every time the smaller concepts, and it will find out the risk management, all the risk whatever it is happening there, and then it will follow up with the projects and all with the larger system. So that is a very good method to use this agile development. So this is all about your scope of quality management. Now the next topic starts, that is your software quality. So now what do you mean by software quality? How we are going to design the software quality? So let me go to the next slide. Okay, so here you can see that there is it is a product. Okay, first thing you have to remember, the software quality is nothing but it is a product, where we can define like what is your purpose of utilizing the software products and all. So here you have to precisely describe that the users actually what they want to do. So once you will find out what the users wants to do, what the end users want to do, then for any of the software products you can find out the fitness of use, how you can use, how you can satisfy with all your requirements, and how you can go for your SRS document, okay, software requirement specification documents and all. Then you can satisfy all the purpose of using the software products. Okay, suppose like one example I can give that, like Suppose you have the functionality of all the correct software product, okay, so that is like it is performing all the tasks as a very specified manner according to your requirements and also according to your SRS document. But suppose sometimes if any unusable user interface has come, then what you're going to do? Then that time you cannot say that yes, my functionality, whatever I have in my software product, it is working fine. No, it won't be like that. That time you have to consider what is the new requirement has come, right? So that time your product will not be a quality product. If you want to make it as a very quality product, you have to satisfy all the requirements whatever has come from your new users. So this kind of focus whenever you are giving towards any kind of your space product, that is known as your fitness of purpose. Okay, so there again it will have some of like uh, the fitness, again it will be like some of the question also will get arise. The question can be like you can see here in this slide, you can see what all other question has come. So some kind of questions will be whether the programming and the documentation standard followed or not by using all the software development, and what about the performance, if the software is acceptable for its normal use, is the software is usable, is the software is well structured and understandable, and is the software is well been tested. So this kind of software questions will arise for your software fitness and all.
Ma'am,
So this kind of software fitness questions used to arise in once you have gone through the software quality products. So now there are variety of quality attributes. Okay, if I will go for the some of the quality attributes, there are many quality attributes are there. So that also we should see. So what are the quality attributes? It can be your safety, it can be your security, it can be your understandability, how the products has been understandable, it can be your portability, testability, reliability, adaptability. There are many attributes are there which is dependent on the quality attributes. Okay, so once it has been reliable on that, then the quality conflict also used to arise, because in the market something will be there, again in the market another things will be there. So it keeps on like degrade the other quality, and due to this quality attribute, and then it used to go for the another quality things and all. So that kind of characteristics always it will be depending on the the functional requirements and all. So that time we will have this kind of quality management system, how we are going to manage all the quality products, and how we are going to control it, and how we are going to specify to the world. So here another, here based on your subjective quality, we have some of the non-functional characteristics which will reflect to the user's experience also. Suppose if any software company is there who who has some experienced resource holder persons, so definitely they, as they have already the experience, they can say that if we will do in this way, our quality product will be increased, right? And also if we can go around and we can find out what exactly we want to do, we can find out. So all these softwares can be enhanced. But in the other way, if you will see, some of the, there will be less experienced people, they don't know what to do to the world, and they have produced some of the softwares, but it will be unreliable to use, and it will be very impossible to achieve their goals. So there will be a difference between the characteristics or the attributes based on your quality assurance things. So that based on that is known as your soft non-functional characteristics. Okay, so here I told you about this kind of your attributes. Based on these attributes, the non-functional requirements has come. So you can see these attributes already we have discussed: the learnability, complexity, robustness, resilience, modularity. All these things are your quality attributes, and based on these quality attributes, your quality conflicts arise. Okay, so here one example will be like, suppose if you want to improve the robustness of any of the particular software, so how you are going to do? So that time it will, if you will improve the robustness, then maybe it will lose the performance. Okay, so that time you have to optimize all these attributes. You cannot show all the attributes at a time. So that time you need to plan in such a way that you can define your quality attributes, and now whenever it will be developed, and you have to showcase in such a way that where we will not lose a performance. Because if you will lose a performance, then there will be no one is we cannot maintain the softwares. Okay. And also, this quality of the product will be influenced by your quality of production process. So that time the relationship whatever we are building in between our software process and also in between our product quality, it will be very complex, and we cannot utilize this kind of your software products. So this kind of quality conflicts it used to arise in between your software, like uh, like software products. So now we have the next one is like process and product quality, how we should have the process and the product quality very empowered. So here what we are going to do is, I told you that if you want to have any of the quality of any of the product, then it has to be influenced by the process. Okay. So that is the reason whenever we will develop any of the softwares, it has the attributes whatever we have used, the quality attributes, it will be very difficult to assess. Okay. Why it is so? Because as I told you before, if you will go for robustness, then your performance will lose. If you'll go for some other things and another things, it will because everything is directly proportional. So if you want to influence your product development side, then the quality of production process may it go high or low. So all these things are depend on your project project complexity, like it is a very large project or it is very small project, and how the end users have understood from their descriptions. All these things are matters a lot. Because if you have a individual skilled person and in front of you there is a very experienced skilled person, then definitely two softwares will come in two different way. So which kind of factors are affecting for both and how they are giving the performance, that also matters a lot. So that is the reason always we need to accelerate our development, and also we need to find out all the variety of requirements, the end users requirement, and we have to fulfill. Then only we can say that our software process and the product quality will have the proper relationship in between. Okay. So that is about your process and product quality. Now next one is one diagram, that is process based quality. So how you are going to do this one? So first you have to define the process. Okay. How you have defined the process? Once you have defined the process, you can go for your developing the product. So once you have developed the product, you have to go for the assessing all the product quality. Okay. So once the product quality is being declared, then you can check it out the quality, it is good or it is bad. If it is good, you can standardize your process. If it is bad, you have to improve it, and again you have to send for your developed product. So in this way, this process based quality used to work out. So now here one more term is there, that is your quality managers. So what do you mean by this quality culture? What is the meaning of your quality culture? Here what will happen is, all the software developers will be responsible, okay, for your all the software development. Okay. Because if they will not be responsible to make any of the software development, then definitely you cannot achieve a very good product. Okay. So that is the reason, the first thing is you have to aim towards a quality culture where all the software developers will be responsible to make all the software developments, and they have to achieve the product quality, high level of product quality. And also they will encourage all the team members to take all the responsibility how to work and how to find out the good quality of work, and how you are going to develop the new approach of your quality improvement. These things are very interrelated things. And once it has been done, then you need to support the people, those who are interested, to find out the aspect of your quality and how you can behave in a professional way towards your team members. That is the next thing. If you will not talk with the next person properly, then how you are going to work with them? You cannot. This is a team based work. So whenever you will have the team based work and in a professional way of behavior, then definitely you can achieve the high level of product quality. So these things are indirectly known as your quality culture. Okay, so everybody has to learn this quality culture. Like it can be on your product quality, it can be your professional quality, but everybody has to understand about this and can go and work on that. So next one starts with your software standards. Okay, so these software standards is nothing but what you what you understand from these software standards. This is like your just to maintain one standard, okay, of your softwares. So that what will happen is if you are finding out any of the softwares, and if you want to find out or go for the softwares and all, how you will manage all the how you are going to manage in your software quality management. So these things, that time this software standards plays a very vital role. Okay, so here how we are going to define the software standard. So the first thing is we have to define the software standard. The like It is a product. First thing I have told you, always you have to maintain like a technique, process, product and all. And where this is a product which is playing a very vital role in quality management, in software quality management. Okay, so this standard, software standard, it can be your national, it can be international, it can be your organizational based, or it can be your project standard. Let it to be anything, but we have to specify, or we have to define all the attributes whatever the products or process is going to use. So that is a very important part of your standards. Okay, and also you have to remember this process standard will define how the process has to be enacted. Fine, so that is the main agenda of your software standard. So we have some importance of standards where we are going to encapsulate the best practices, where we are going to avoid the repetition of past mistake. Fine, so here what we are going to do, we have to avoid to do the mistake whatever already happened in the past. And if we can avoid that, so that will be your best practice for today's scenario. And also here you have to, there will be some reasons. Okay, there will be some reasons where we are going to use some software standards. Like it can be used for any of the company also, where they can apply all this best practice method. And also they can capture some of the necessary things or important things which has to be required to develop any of the software products. So that is the first point or first importance of your standards. What is the next one? Next one will be like you have to set one framework where you can define or you can find out the quality assurance processes. And also here you have to see the organization's view of quality, and then you have to set the framework. That is the second one. What is the third one? What we are going to do in the third one? In this third one, it will help to the next person who is going to continue the previous person's work without breaking any continuity. Okay, so what will happen if any new employee joins to this ongoing software project? Then the learning efforts in between them will get reduced because of these software standards. So we have to understand the a continuation of the project, ongoing project. That is a third important of this software standards. So now what do you mean by product and process standards? There are two things. Okay, the first one is your product and next one is your process standard. But if you want to conduct any of the quality assurance activity, suppose, okay, so what will happen? Normally what you used to happen is it will just have a separate team, okay, which has to be which is known as your quality assurance team. Fine, and this team will define that what kind of software standards we are going to use. It means it will just specify that It can be your national, it can be international, organizational, or it can be your project standards. Any kind of handbook we can maintain for this process and product standards. Fine. So this kind of process and product things we have to maintain. So that is the first thing of maintaining that we have to remember. So now, if I will come directly to my product and process standards, we have to remember that the product standard will be design and review form. Okay, there will be a design review form which has to be designed, but in the process standard it will be a conduction of design review. Okay, it will be a conduction of design review. So if I specify on the review in the product, it will be a form which is known as your design review form. But here in the process standard, it is known as your conduction of design review. Okay. So in another point, I can say that in your product standard, it is a requirement document structure. It has the requirement document structure, which is written over here. You can see requirement document structure, but here this one will be a submission of requirement documents. Okay, we are going to submit it. And also in your product, you can see there will be a function header format, okay, which has to be maintained. But here it will release the version process. Okay, so there is a difference between these two. Here in the product we are writing in Java programming style, but here we are writing in a project plan, like whatever is approved already, in that way we are writing. That is the reason here we have a project plan structure, but here always a change control process will be on view. Fine. So these all are some of the difference in between your product and process standards. Same thing, whatever I told, it has been written in this box. Okay, so you can see design review form, here design review conductions, here requirement document structure, here submission of new code, here method of header format, here version release process, here this is a Java programming style, here it is a project plan approval process, this is having project plan format or structure, here it is having change control process, here it is having the change request form, and here it is having the test recording process. Okay, so that is about your product standard and process standard. Now the next one is like problem with the standard, how we are going to handle the problems with standard. So here sometimes what will happen is the software engineers sometimes they will think that the product standard which has to be set by the company, and that is very irrelevant. Okay, so what they will do is they will be very reluctant to adopt any of the standards. Fine. So if they will adopt any of these standards, then some standards will be there which will be required, like just to work according to their activity. And that time, that persons always they will try to find out some good reasons to if they want to make any of the like standards inappropriate. So there will be some of the problems which used to occur in between the problem with the like with the standards. So how we are going to avoid this kind of problem, how we are going to do it, so that we can do if we want to establish any of the product standards, then there will be some of the solutions. Okay, so the first solution will be like you need to involve all the software engineers in your developing side. Okay, so if you are going for any product standard, so that they can also understand what is the necessity of any particular standard, so they will be involved into this process. Okay, then the next one will be how you are going to review and how you are going to modify the standard periodically, so that all has to adopt the new changes. Fine, so that is the next one. So another point also will be there, whatever has written over here, like the automated software tools which will be supporting to the standard software standards, and also they will be involved in maintaining all the documentations whatever is associated with all the standards. So that is also one problem arise by like with these software standards. Sometimes what will happen is it will be very impossible to lay out all the specific process standard. Why? Because there will be some different types of software softwares will be there, which they which where they may require some of the different process, okay, how to be followed and all. So if they require any of the different processes and all, then that time it has to work very inappropriately. And if they will work inappropriately, then there will be a like a responsibility on project manager, that he has to define how the process standard will be work, like according to the requirement of the process. Because if they won't work out with the requirement of the process, then it will be very hectic to um, solve this kind of problems. Okay, so this is the next one. Next topic is your standard developments, where there will be where all the software developers has to be they have to involve in all these things, like software engineers products and all, whatever just now I told. Then they have to review all the standards and all, they have to modify. Then they can utilize a specialized tool where they can work out on that. And it can be a, like if you are using only web based forms, that will not be sufficient to utilize. Okay, so we have an ISO 9001 standard, that is your, like it is a quality assurance standard, okay, which is used to which is applied also to software engineering system. So if it focus directly on your process flows, how you're going to have the process flow, how you're going to work on that. Then next it will be depending on the customer satisfaction, and also how you are continuing the improvement of quality management system. So these things and all, it generally focus, so that we should have the, like the product very specific and good quality. Okay, so that's the reason we have this international set of standards, which they where they have their own rules and regulations. They used to verify all these quality principles. So there are some guidelines. Okay, there are some guidelines which we have to see also. That kind of guidelines are there, that is like you need to establish all the quality management system, where you can identify and you can manage all the process in the quality management system. Okay, next one will be like document all the quality management system, support the quality, then satisfy all the customers. Then you have to establish the quality policy, you have to go through the conduct quality planning. So there are many things are there in a guidelines, where by using that kind of guidelines, they used to prepare one kind of your quality manuals. And by utilizing that quality manuals, the organization has to follow the quality process. Okay, so if suppose any project quality plan is not maintained by that, then it has to be provided with the individual project plan, so they can show in that way also. So we have one diagram here, which is shown to you now, where there will be like some process, core processes will be defined, will be there, which has been defined inside your ISO. So here we have some product delivery process, one part, and in the second part we have supporting process. You can see there will be whole and soul some 9 core processes. Okay, what is the first one? You can see that, like business acquisition, design and development, testing, product and delivery, service and support, which has to be provided by your product delivery process. And also one more, there will be supporting process, which is known as your business management, supplier management, configuration and inventory management. So these all are the core 9 core processes. So you may get your different question, like what do you mean by ISO 9001 standards and all, and what will be the guidelines of that. Okay, you may get that kind of question. So now moving towards the quality management, there is one more diagram is there, where it has been done by some various processes in ISO. Okay, so here you can see ISO 9001 quality model. It has been instantiated as organizational quality manual. Then it used to develop the plan for the project 1, project 2 and project 3. And also it has been documented for your organization quality process, again which has been instantiated as your project quality management. Once this planning has done, it is going to support towards the quality management process. So first thing, you need to plan, then you are going to manage it. So this is about your quality standard and procedures, whatever used to happen. So this is the certification of your ISO 9001, which has been maintained with your organization quality manual, and there will be your external body who has been certified with your organization's quality manual, conforms towards your ISO 9000 standards. It is a next version of 9000, that is 9001. So if some of the customers require any suppliers to be ISO 9000, then they have to be certified with the need of all the flexibility, whatever it has been increasingly recognized. So this is all about your software standards, and I hope I made you to understand the software quality, the quality management, and also along with that the software standard and ISO 9001 standard. You are going to get around some four variety question of 8 marks or maybe for 6 marks only for today's class. Okay, so the questions and all I will be writing down under this video description. You can find out the variety of questions. You can keep it as for your question bank, that it will be the same question whatever has come. This software standard question has already come in Jan 2019 for 6 marks. The question was like, explain different types of software standards and mention their importance, which was a 6 marks of question. The same question has been repeated in some other year also. So you will get a variety of questions which I will write down in my description. You can check it out, everything. I hope you have understood for today's class. So in the next class, the next two more topics we are going to cover it up. So thank you.